9:55 a.m. this Sunday morning, May 26, 2024. And I'm going to give just a real short so-called Sunday sermon today. Now, we have a lot of people out there that, regardless of how much information is being pumped out there, they still put 100% faith, so supposedly, into this book, and claim that everything within that book is of truth, without actually going into research beyond this one single book. Do you really understand the creation process behind this book, or book of books? As the story is told, as far as like the Dead Sea Scrolls, all documents discovered that were hidden away. All these documents being discovered, right? And which these documents have to undergo translation. Well, within this book, you had Hebraic writings and Grecian writings. Most people want to believe that Paul's writings, as far as the New Testament, took place in and around the Holy Lands. No, it was in Greece. The majority of Paul's preaching that we don't hear of took place in Greece. Throughout the years, this book has undergone many translations because of multiple languages, deciphered and translated from ancient texts, right? Okay, well, I've got another book here. And remember, okay, supposedly this is inspired by God, written by man, through documents discovered. Okay, so let's bring about another book. Do you recognize this book? Oh, yeah, we don't have any golden letters being thrown right in our faces, do we? Until we turn it to the binding. And then what we have? We have the Book of Mormon. Oh, I don't believe in the Book of Mormon. Why not? It's just another testament of Jesus Christ, right? Oh, no, 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 no. That was made here in America. Oh, that's right. Through supposedly documents that were discovered, translated, and put into a book. No different, other than the age, than this creation right here. Virtually no difference in the creations of these two books. Now then, well, what about the lost books of the Bible and the forgotten books of Eden? Oh, well, we have that much more about the writer of this book. Did you know that there was a female that was written about, that she is to have a higher reverence of notability than that of Mother Mary? Her name was Thekla. She is to be remembered every September. She was so enamored by the preachings and teachings of Paul that she started up her own ministry. Basically, she fell in love with Paul, even though she didn't see him. She could only hear him. But we don't hear nothing about this female at all in this. Interesting. A lot of books were not added to this. Why? Because this is part of man's creation and not inspired by a holy God. Because if you really read this book and understand those stories, your God in this book is more human than you might realize. He is one that is prone to anger. What is anger? It is a side effect. It is not a real emotion. It is a side effect. 3 words. Now, what are those 3 words that describes anger? Loss of expectation. Well, how is a God that knows everything taken by surprise? An all-knowing God that is prone to anger, and the definition to anger is loss of expectation. Every time that God waged war on this planet, it was because he wasn't expecting what man was doing or going to do. And it brought on anger, rage, and destruction. A God that is no different than the gods in the oldest stories of the world. Because this God, just like these gods, had an affection for gold. And you see that throughout this book. People want to say, oh, well, you have a choice whether to accept or not accept. You have a choice to go to either heaven or hell. Well, not much of a choice there, is there? We're going to go into further the definition of choices and how this book here has affected our choices in life and today, and the revelations that should be understood of today as referenced in this book. Oh, I'm going to open up Pandora's box. And we're going to see a storyline that actually begins here, goes through here, and what it means for tomorrow. People, this is just a reference book. It's no different than any other writings out there that is supposedly to help direct your life. But you know, I would rather have something direct my life that is not filled with scare tactics, fear-mongering, talks of blood, sacrifices, wars, past wars, future wars. You need to really get a grip and understand the realities. And I'm going to expose that much more. And this is going to conclude it for this so-called Sunday sermon. Think about those that wrote these books. Do you really understand the authors? No. God didn't write this book. Jesus did not write this book. Men wrote these books. We're going to go that much further into it, but not as a Sunday sermon, because we are going to speak of realities. The realities of what this book has actually created over the years. So we'll see you again with more explanations of reality. Have yourselves a great one. We'll see you back here on this flip side.